Hello everyone, I'm Phoenix Tremayne, and this is my additional review. You may know me from my Real Housewives of Atlanta reviews, and now that my other shows are coming off hiatus, I'm going to be doing some of the other shows I love. So this episode, I will be discussing Revenge, Once Upon a Time, Deception, and Lost Girl. Hopefully by the time this is over, you'll be a fan of Lost Girl like I am. But if you don't know what that show is or what I'm talking about, you will know by the time this is over. So let's talk about Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time is back, and was a episode is really just about Regina. Regina is the evil queen, and she's been trying to redeem herself because she wants the love of her adopted son Henry, which doesn't make any fucking sense to me because Henry is a brat. He doesn't listen to the adults. They tell him to go to school. He hops a cab, does what he wants. He talks back. There's a lot of episodes where he needs his ass beat. He needs to learn his place. He needs to go sit down somewhere. I know he's doing good or whatever they're trying to say. This woman raised him. He didn't know anything was wrong with her. I mean, he had a sense that, something was up. But she didn't mistreat him. She didn't abuse him. She didn't beat him. She didn't lock him away in a room. She adopted him. She raised him from a baby. His mother gave him away. And he that's the only mother he wants. People want the things they can't have. So she's like, I don't even know how to be a mother. And he's like, well, you're going to learn today, Kevin Hart. But, in the beginning of the episode, they walk in on Snow White and the Prince fucking, or just finished fucking, and they're like, why are you in the bed? They're naked. What the fuck you think they're doing in the bed? They fucking. Or they about to fuck again. One of the two. And Henry's like they reduced him to like if he was like 4 or 5 years old. Like he don't know what the hell's going on. He's a kid, but he's not a child, if you know what I mean. He know what fucking is. Anyway, the episode essentially Regina's mother said we now know is the Queen of Hearts, set her up, and she murdered Jiminy Cricket, who's the counselor in the town. And so everybody turned on Regina, which didn't take much. So it's all to push Regina into going back to being evil. The episode was watchable. I've seen better episodes. I was happy it returned. And I think next week should pick up since Captain Hook directly confronts Rumpelstiltskin. It shouldn't be long before people figure out that Regina's mother is back too. So it'll be interesting to see how that all works out. The next show that so I would give that episode of Once Upon a Time a 7 for satisfactory. Revenge came back. Revenge is one of my favorite shows. To me, it's a classic soap opera. It's sort of like a throwback to the days of Dynasty and Falcon Crest and Knots Landing and Dallas and all those type of shows. So rich, powerful people screwing over other people who screw over them. And in this episode, Revenge went back to the basics. I loved it. It's back to Emily going after the people who set up her father, and one by one Xing them off. And normally this season she's been going after the initiative, going all these different missions all over the place. So I was glad to see her get back to her own mission, which was really fun. And in this one, she goes after the judge who should have done a mistrial because he knew that the jury was tainted, but he was a bad guy. He's abusive to his wife. And the cool thing about this episode is Emily doesn't blackmail, lie, cheat, deceive to get what she wants. She just has to talk with the judge's wife who he's been abusing. And that was good acting because the body language was awesome. So big ups to the director for that one. And for the actors, they really conveyed all the emotions and body language the way we want. to really tell the story so that we don't get a whole lot of exposition. So eventually the wife revealed to the world his abuse and how he lied and how he knew that the jury was tainted in the David Clark trial, which was great. The whole thing was worth seeing. Everything else, not so much. A lot of characters were sidelined in this episode. Victoria didn't do much. Conrad didn't do much. Ashley didn't even show up. Since Aiden has been Emily's new sidekick, Nolan's been pretty much kicked to the curb, and his scenes have just been greatly reduced. They kind of touched on his relationship. One of the cool things about Revenge is they don't have to explain or make a big deal about a lot. Nolan's character is bisexual. He started off with a male love interest. That was crazy. And then he ended up with a female love interest this season. And now his ex-boyfriend has come back, blackmailing the fuck out of him and just fucking up his life. You know, and the ex-boyfriend wants him back. He's like, no, I have this girlfriend now, and I wouldn't take you back anyway because you betrayed me. And then they bring in this R&D computer code type shit that somehow the person of interest. And he's like, you know, if you finish this, you know, you have your own weapon and money and blah, 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 blah. So I'm sure that'll come into play. I really think that's probably the first clue we have to the boyfriend's real agenda, which I think will be much bigger than what we see at the moment. And, I guess I gotta throw this shit in. It's so fucking boring. I wish the writers would just get a clue and just drop this storyline and get Jack back on the line of wanting to be with Emily in a love triangle between Emily and Amanda. We don't give a shit about this bar, about these brothers, about, you know, this whole drug shit that's kind of out of left field, unless these brothers work for the initiative and they tied all the shit in. You know, I really wish they would just drop this storyline because it's boring as fuck. But Jack's now arrested because Declan fucked up. Declan, looking through their shit and found coke, called the police when Jack had already set them up. And so they realized what he had done. And so they end up setting him up. And so when they go to arrest Declan, Jack takes the rap and he ends up getting locked up, which leaves his brother out to dry to these guys who he can't have no way in hell he could ever go up against. So that was Revenge. And the next show I'll talk about is Deception. Deception is boring as fuck. It wants to be Revenge so bad. A lot of these characters, if you change the name, it's the exact same characters as in Revenge, but not as good. I read a review that hit the nail right on the head. It said that Revenge was trashy and knew it. And that's how they played it. They didn't. And Deception plays the shit straight. Like, you know, this trashy shit is just like shit that happen every day. And it's like a cop procedural. No. We want drama. We want hair flips. We want dresses. We want, you know, bitches like saying catty dialogue to each other, giving them cut in the eyes. You know, we want some shit to go down, some like Revenge. We want bitches thrown off balconies. We want bitches thrown off balconies, you know, out windows and shit. Because in Revenge, you throw a bitch out the window from the 10th floor, Lydia hit the damn cab like they do in movies. Cab damn near explode. Boom. You know, 2 episodes later, she's wrapped up in a hospital. Episode after that, she's just good as new. Amanda, you throw the bitch off the balcony. 2 episodes later, she up and around like ain't nothing happened. You know, that's good campy soap drama. I should know because I wrote a soap opera called Thirsty. Phoenix Remains Thirsty. And, you know, that's the kind of shit that I wrote. You know, the kind of things that I want to see. You know, I don't want a procedural / soap opera. I want a soap opera and or a procedural, or procedural within the soap opera that's campy. Now, there's a fine line between being too campy and then it's just a cartoon, and nobody likes those kind of soaps. That give soaps a bad name. But if you have campy that's fun, that the audience can get off on, like me, then you got yourself a good-ass soap opera. And with Deception, it is just boring as fuck. I mean, we don't care about these people. The actors aren't giving us drama. They're not giving us what we need. No. And the secrets that come out in the first episode, the pilot, is not enough to make me go, oh my God, this family is just so out of control. No. They're boring. And I hope the best for Megan Good and what's this guy, Laz Alonso and Ella Ray Peck and Tate Donovan. Those four were the only good actors on the entire episode. Everybody else, whatever. Bye, bitch. I'm glad a couple of you died. Whatever. But the last show I want to talk about is Lost Girl, one of my favorite shows I stumbled onto by accident. It's a Canadian show about a succubus who's essentially a superhero caught between light fae, dark fae. And light and dark doesn't necessarily mean good and evil, but a fae is just another word for fairy. But in this world, a fairy can be a werewolf. So it's just, fairies are different types of monsters. They're not like little pixies with wings. They're just like different types of monsters. Most of them look human. Some of them look like monsters. But it's just a fun show that's just off the hook. She's bisexual. And she's in a love triangle between a human woman and a werewolf. A man. And the cool thing about her being a succubus is, in order for her to heal, like I said, she's almost like a superhero. She gets into a fight, she gets fucked up, and then the only way for her to heal is either to kiss, which is where she steals people's soul energy, and if she takes too much, they die. But if she's really fucked up, she needs to fuck. She needs to sit on some dick and ride that shit. Now, I don't know how it works when she's with a lesbian, and because she's done that too, to do that super healing, and they just start fucking. And the show isn't bashful at all. They really go there. They don't make a big deal about the bisexuality of the character. Also, they have a black character being black. I've always looked for decent, well-written black characters, and Hale is a good guy. He's Dyson is the werewolf, the one she's usually in love with half the time. When she's not in love with the doctor, which is the human lady, and he's a siren. We know most sirens are women, but his whole family is sirens. So a siren can be a man or a siren can be a woman, and he's just become the Ash, which is the leader of the Fae. So so the Ash is the leader of the Light Fae, and he's the acting Ash. And this episode was sort of like a throwback to jail pictures, women's prison pictures. The Amazons are running this jail, and some shit's going down. And so her character goes into the jail. This is season 3. In Canada, they're on season 3. In America, they're on season 2, and they're showing Sci-Fi. And in this episode, she goes to jail. Now, at the end of season 2, sorry, Americans, if you don't want to know the end of season 2, skip by a little faster. But she becomes evil, or possessed or something. So when she's acting badass at the beginning of season 3, we assume that, this is just a continuation of the story, just fill us in. But she's actually just acting. She's on one of her cases. A doctor at the prison of the Fae prison has disappeared, and her girlfriend Lauren go undercover in the prison to figure out, what happened to the lady, find her, or whatever, and then they all get in trouble and just shit goes down. So But at the end of the episode, and fast forward if you don't want to hear this, the end of the episode is revealed that she's still possessed and she's still bad, but people just obviously don't know it. So she's still evil, but everybody thinks she's still good, and so this is a good plot because she's almost like Dark Phoenix or whatever, except it without fucking everybody up right away, because she's very, very powerful. So Lost Girl is a really good show. I urge everyone to figure out a way to see it. You can go on showcase.com. I think I was on their website the other day. In Canada, it airs on a channel called Showcase. And it said that the first episode was going to be, of season 3 was going to be on there. Also, season 1 is on DVD and I think Blu-ray. And they probably have season 2 out or coming out. Because season 3 started. So that's it. Hopefully you'll like these additional reviews, and I'll do more. I was going to do a gossip segment, but it wasn't really no major gossip. All the gossip was last week, so soon I'll do some more gossip and review some more of my good shows. It's coming back. They're coming back one by one, off hiatus, except for NBC. Their show's gonna come back to March, but everybody else between this week and next week, a lot of the shows will be returning. So until next time, I'll talk to you soon and see you.